Hello, hope you're doing well today. Welcome to session two, lesson one of your self-aware leadership and achievement independent study program. And today's session is pretty interesting. It's about emotional intelligence, right? And the connection between your leadership ability and that emotional intelligence. So let's get right into it. And I'm going to go down into our learning management system and pop up lesson one. And we're going to take a quick peek at that. So I'm going to start off with this quote. And this is a really insightful quote from Dale Carnegie. And if you've not heard of Dale Carnegie before, you should check him out. He's quite the leader, has been quite the leader in organizational management and leadership development. And this is his quote. When dealing with people, remember, you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but creatures of emotion. So when you're speaking with people and dealing with people, that's a powerful, powerful message to hang on to, right? Because so often it's so easy just to go into a conversation about data and numbers and this is what we need and all that good stuff, and bypassing the whole effectiveness or empowering one of your employees you're speaking to is actually an emotional discussion and not just a data discussion. They need both. Without the emotional discussion or the emotional intelligence, you deem that person and your organization less effective than it could or even should be. So emotional intelligence is pretty amazing, and we all have some level of it, and it's one of those things we can work on. So, and when it comes to happiness and success in business and life, emotional intelligence matters as much as, if not more than your IQ, intellectual intelligence. And I found that to be true for sure, because really emotional intelligence is what makes you connect with the people that will actually do the work. It'll be the source of your inspiration and empowerment to those people. It is part of the relationship building process, which is a key part of leadership. And it is a way for you personally to achieve your career and personal goals. It is a tool for that. So what is it, right? It's a good situation. What is emotional intelligence? And I'm going to read a little bit here. It is the ability to identify, use, understand, and manage emotions in positive ways to communicate effectively, inspire, and empower your staff, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. Emotional intelligence impacts many different aspects of your leadership abilities, including the way you behave and the way you interact with others. So it's a real mindful process, right? It's you being present, not only to the situation, but having a certain level of self-awareness, right? So this mindfulness and self-awareness are key in practicing empathy. And if you're not used to practicing empathy, it can be difficult getting that side of you out, right? But we all have it. Human beings, it's inherent in us. Depending on your background and your upbringing, etc., depends on how accessible it is for you to use it. But we all have it. You can change it. You can build upon it. It's a key tool that you're going to want to develop and make better to become that powerful an amazing leader and achiever you want to be. So it is intuitive somewhat too, I find, right? It's you be able to read the situation, read the context, if you will, read the atmosphere of either discussion or the moment. And so it's again, it's something that is tough to hang on to sometimes. It's tough to see that it's there, but it is there when you are feeling that presence, and almost you feel like you're not driving the situation, but you can see how you should influence to help these people out or direct the conversation in a more positive approach, etc. So emotional intelligence has four key attributes. Self-awareness. It is important to be self-aware, and again, the basis for all my work, as you already know, is self-awareness. So this is key to help you develop your emotional intelligence. It affects your thoughts, behavior, strengths, weakness, and self-confidence, by the way. It is self-management, and which I put under mindfulness. You're able to control impulsive feelings and behaviors, especially when somebody like pushes your buttons or gets you angry or it's a rough situation. You need to be able to step back because that's where leadership shows up. Anybody can lead when something is great. Anybody can lead when there's no problems, right? That is not a challenge to anybody. In fact, you don't even need leadership at that point in time because it's kind of on your own, on its own. And that actually is something you want to work on down the road, but that's much more of an organizational discussion as well. And it's healthy, and you can take initiative understanding that situation, right? You can actually lead knowing that this is what's going on here, and I being present to that, past my emotions and maybe anger or excitement or whatever it is, can intervene and contribute positively at that point in time. It's along that same discussion, it's social awareness, right? Understanding motives and needs and concerns of other people. If you don't have that as a leader, I'm not sure what you're doing, right? You've got to have that social awareness because quite literally, even if you're in an online environment, an online organization, there is social awareness. And I think a lot of people have dropped the ball with that, with the new online efforts these days. It's still the same. So you're still looking at that person, you're still speaking to these people. It's just that there's a piece of machinery in between, but it doesn't have to eliminate anything that we're speaking about when it comes to emotional intelligence. Relationship management, it helps you develop and maintain good relationships, communicate clearly, inspire and influence others, and work well in a team and manage conflict, which is key, right? So as a leader, you're brought on to handle all these things. And so emotional intelligence is key. So that's it for lesson one. We're going to move on to lesson two here. And I'll see you in the next lesson.